common problem with transaction data, especially in alternative data setting, is that this high volume transaction data, often coming from raw sources, has all kinds of mistakes that are introduced from time to time, missing values, missing rows, missing types of information. And diagnosing and dealing with these issues in a timely manner is a pretty important job for any team working with alternative data. For us, in this example, we're going to have Sphinx look at two anonymized transaction data sets, dataset 1 and dataset 2, both living in our Snowflake instance. And what we found is that dataset 1 or 2, I don't actually know which one, has diverged from the other in terms of total daily spent. This is the kind of thing that your data QC system, if you have one, could flag, but then if you as a human data scientist would have to go and investigate, and we're going to let Sphinx try to take on this task autonomously. Obviously calling it from the IDE here so you can see it working, but this could also be called autonomously from the CLI so that you can review that work and have it as part of your process for data mitigation whenever there is any kind of issue with your data. So I'll let Sphinx get to work. And here it's going into Snowflake, fetching the data, and starting to do a deep dive into it. And you can see, of course, there's some discrepancy. Those two graphs do diverge, and it's now going to do deep dives into everything, right? What is the date where it looks like there's a divergence? It's able to figure that out. What is the amount distribution? What are the distributions of users? What are differences in the user counts? And it seems like, okay, there are some companies that may not be appearing in both data sets. I'll let this kind of churn through, and here we've sped it up a little bit, but really, this is kind of the work that you would be doing manually over the course of multiple minutes, maybe even multiple hours. Sphinx, of course, now fixing some kind of bugs in its process, and it seems to have found the smoking gun. There are a lot of customers in dataset 1 who weren't there before and now seem to have appeared. Maybe some kind of duplicate, maybe some kind of mistake, and this is really like a good point to say, okay, because dataset 1 has had some kind of divergence where maybe new data has been added and that data doesn't really make sense, needs to be normalized. So I'll ask Sphinx what I can trust more here, and of course it can now give me a recommendation that we should trust dataset 2 here, and the reason, which it's able to explain in plain English, and of course could also explain through code, plots, and all the other work it's done, is that dataset 1 has added a bunch of new entities and companies without real organic growth, which seems like there's a duplicate load, ETL pipeline error, something like that. Obviously, maybe if this is vendor data, you want to reach out to the vendor, but here Sphinx, and even with the speed up, this process takes around 8 minutes in real time, has been able to kind of do that first line of defense, getting you to a point where you are able to review this work and take action on it rather than needing to go and do those deep dives yourself.